Good evening, everybody. It's just after 7 on a Monday night, and it's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show here on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We are also live across the internet on ws.hcr923fm.com/listen and on TuneIn. You can contact the show radio at widnesworld.co.uk and via Facebook and Twitter.com/ttgw radio. You can contact us by telephone 01928 835 291 and by text 07716 672 874. Start your messages with TTGW. All messages charged at your standard network rate. I hope you're ready. It's time to go wild. Evening, Doug.
Good evening. How are you?
I don't know whether or not I stopped shaking from the shaking or the shaking from the cold from last night.
So has your heart come back and...
I don't know. I think we know.
Stopping and starting and...
I think so. Let's find out when I do the results, should I?
Yeah, I think we should do.
Here we go. Okay, let's have a roundup of the classified results from the last week in British hockey. And we'll roll it all the way back to Tuesday the 7th of November. Champions Hockey League results. Nottingham Panthers 0. ZSC Lions Zurich 3. Shame for the Nottingham Panthers there, because that's unfortunately put them out of the Champions Hockey League. But a big congratulations to the Nottingham Panthers on getting as far as they have done in this year's Champions Hockey League. And we wish all the teams in the future the best of luck in that competition. Now moving back to the rest of the domestic games, starting now with the Elite Ice Hockey League from Wednesday the 8th of November. Sheffield Steelers 8, Dundee Stars 2. Moving to Saturday, Guildford Flames 7, Edinburgh Capitals 0. Sheffield Steelers 3, Manchester Storm 1. Belfast Giants 0, Cardiff Devils 3. Milton Keynes Lightning 5, Coventry Blaze 4 after overtime. Fife Flyers 5, Dundee Stars 1. Moving to Sunday in the Elite Ice Hockey League. Coventry Blaze 3, Fife Flyers 4. Manchester Storm 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 5 after overtime. Braehead Clan 3, Guildford Flames 2. Cardiff Devils 7, Edinburgh Capitals 2. Dundee Stars 2, Belfast Giants 0. And the Elite Ice Hockey League Challenge Cup from Saturday the 11th. Nottingham Panthers 5, Braehead Clan 1. Moving into the NIHL Division 1 North Morley for Saturday. Whitley Warriors 2, Nottingham Lions 3, Billingham Stars 4, Hull Pirates 6, Solway Sharks 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 3 after overtime. And from Sunday in the Morley, Dragons D1 4, Billingham Stars 9, Blackburn Hawks D1 1, Sheffield Steel Dogs 2, Nottingham Lions 1, Solway Sharks 9, Solihull Barons 5, Whitley Warriors 2, and finally the NIHL Division 2 North Laidler from Saturday, Bradford Bulldogs 2, Altrincham Aces 4, Sheffield Senators 4, Hull Jets 10, Coventry Blaze NIHL 6, Telford Tigers D2 8, Blackburn Hawks D2 1, Widnes Wild 6, and the biggie from Sunday night, the only game in the NIHL Division 2 North Laidler, the thriller of the weekend, Widnes Wild 2, Sutton Sting 1 after overtime. That's the results from last week. Oh, wow. I think my heart's finally come back to a normal pace.
We do like doing overtime, don't we?
When we do overtime, that one we did with style.
We do, definitely.
Or rather, Pav, we love you, love you, love you. I think there's several people want to marry you out there.
11.4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I barely stopped. I don't know if I was breathing too heavily or stopped breathing through most of overtime. Thriller, an absolute thriller. And I managed to catch up with David Pryor from the Sutton Sting for a few words, and this is what he had to say. Time to go wild radio. Catching up once again with Sutton Sting's David Pryor after an absolutely thrilling game. David, what can you say?
Oh, I mean, it's a great game. You know, it comes down to the third period going into it with 0-0. Both teams are giving everything they've got. You know, overtime, yeah, probably called for it. It was nice. Good little challenge, and all the way there, 11 seconds to go before the game winner? It's not a bad result, is it? It's good for the fans.
Well, the fans loved it. I've actually predicted myself overtime for this start of the game. The way the first period was going, it was definitely going to go either way.
Oh yeah, it was quite a chess match. There was a lot of kind of standing off, letting each other see what we can do and trying to take away the options. Nice tight game. It's defensive hockey, and you know the scoreline shows it 2-1 final.
Both goaltenders were playing out of their skins tonight. I mean, I've seen Warren Guilford at a number of levels, and Matty Curl playing a lot, and really, really top quality goaltending.
Oh yeah, I mean, Warren has just won Player of the Month, and the way he performs out there all the time, you can see him. He gives us a chance to win every game, even if we're not at our best. He's always there backing us up. Some of the saves he made, the highlight reel is going to be unreal with some of the glove saves he's got out there.
Well, it's going to keep me busy, but another one was the little bit of a dance between Ryan Johnson and Lee Kemp. It's like an extra bit of a lift to the game, I think.
Yeah, when it's that kind of tight game, you get little chippy things going on, and I think Ryan took a bit of an exception to Kemp having a little chat with a couple of our cages. You know, you got to look after the younger guys, and if he wants to go, then we've got guys who'll go.
Oh, what was fun was actually seeing them sort of high-five each other in the sin bin afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that kind of sportsmanship, and there is a game, you know. At the end of it, Jono's on top of him, and he's cocked ready to punch him, and he guy's down, so he doesn't. He holds back, and that's kind of part of the sport.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to the remainder of the season as it comes and goes between both teams.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good, you know. Seems to be three top teams out there at the moment. Ourselves, you guys, and Altrincham are looking for the top three at the moment, and they're all been good games. Hope they continue.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the season. We'll catch up with you again, hopefully, at some point.
Thanks a lot, Cole.
Cheers. A big thank you to Dave Pryor there for speaking to us after the game. Well, we haven't even had a message in. If you want to send in some messages to the show, you can send us a quick one if you want. 07716 672874 for text messages. Start your text with TTGW. We'd love to hear from you, because the reason I have to say start with TTGW because we use the same number on another show. But don't worry, your text, it's a normal number, so you don't have to be worried about getting stung for a big message or a big bill or anything to do with that number. So it's 07716 672874. Save it in your phone. Mark Boyle's been in touch. He said, what a great game. End to end, loads in the middle, some great saves from both goaltenders, some great blocks, and the team players from all positions, and as was said in the post-match interviews, you know, a bit of great sportsmanship conduct between Lee Kemp and Ryan Johnson there, you know, a bit of slap and tickle as he nicknamed his Mark. You know, both players skated the sin bin, and yeah, big high fives from between the two of them. I mean, I don't know. I've got to be careful including some of it on the highlight reel, because Ryan ended up with not only no shirt but no pads, and he didn't even have any sweats on, did he, Doug?
No.
So that's going to be an interesting one for the highlight. But yeah, I caught the high five. So, yeah, no, I mean, you know, critical timeout called and fantastic game played between two very good teams, all players, coach and everyone making it a really tense event and thrilling and demanding from the fans, over the moon with the way they played with a difficult win. Hashtag TTGW.
I know last night there was, I give away tickets to every match, and there was two people who came who'd never been before to an ice hockey match. And Ian and Lucas, I hope you really enjoyed it, because I know Lucas was enthralled from the start of the match till the end, and he will definitely be returning. He'll be dragging his dad along, even if his dad doesn't want to come along. He'll be dragging him along, because it's the kind of match that does the sport brilliantly. It advertises everything about the sport. It was fast, it was competitive, it was played in the right way,
yeah,
and we won, but yeah.
To be perfectly brutal, I'm even not even putting a neutral's hat on for this. And Matt, I'm sorry, Matt, you'll probably shoot me for saying this, but to be honest, I think a draw would have been a fair result for that game last night because both teams were playing so well and there was so much action. It was so tense.
I'm just glad it didn't go to penalty shots.
I hate filming penalty shots. It's to say watching penalty shots is bad enough. At least I can look away. I mean, watching football with penalties, I don't watch. Hockey with penalty shots, I wouldn't watch it if I was actually watching.
No.
But no, I've got probably one of the worst jobs of all, other than the players, and I film the darn thing.
But it's I mean, we've managed to win in overtime twice.
Yeah.
Without going to penalties.
Yeah.
And long may it continue because I don't think penalties are a fair way of finishing a game.
No. That literally is like drawing lots.
It's Russian roulette, isn't it?
It is very much
one
so.
slip, one slide the wrong way, and
yeah. It is. I mean, 3-on-3 overtime though is so different. It's possessional. It's so you've got to cover so much ice, even on smaller pads. There's so much ice, and considering the difference between the two games between Saturday and Sunday, for the size of the pad to start off with in Blackburn is so big. It is. I mean, it's wider. I don't know if it's any longer, but no, it's definitely wider than Widnes. It's a full-size Olympic skating pad, where Widnes is a little bit smaller. It's not one of the smallest pads I've seen. For league hockey, that is. I mean, Peterborough's is a smaller pad again for league hockey.
But if you'd seen Saturday and then you come along and see Sunday, it was like watching two teams, but the team did the job on Saturday that they had to do and conserved their energy as best they could.
Yeah, it was a chalk and cheese.
Tried not to take any silly injuries, because when you're playing against players who aren't as technical as you are, they by mistake come in late.
Yeah.
It's not intentional, it's just they might skate into you because they can't stop.
Well, I'll give the Blackburn Hawks their due in that game on Saturday. They've come a long way. They've really improved their playing.
Yes,
and it is big ice, and it was one of those fixtures where you've got two games. The work was done, and Blackburn never gave up all game. But there was no need to go hell for leather and knacker yourselves out when you've got a game on Sunday which was such a tempo that even the English Premier League would have been keeping up with that.
43 and 44 shots, I think it was.
Just a second. Sunday's game.
Yes,
43 shots on Matt Croyle, 44 shots on Warren Guilfoyle.
That's a really high shot count.
Considering the difference from Saturday night, where on the first period Phil Crosby faced 4 shots and Tom McDonald faced 6 shots and then 4 shots and let 1 in, and he was absolutely gutted.
Yes,
but it was through a screen.
Wasn't a happy bunny.
No,
but then again, you got Lee Kemp standing in front of you, so it is a big screen.
yeah. But I mean, is that now? Someone can confirm this. Was that Tom's first actual full game this year that he's actually been on the ice for a game?
He didn't do the full game, did he?
He's played 2 periods. I know he's been on the bench for a couple.
I think he's been on the ice once before.
Tom, if you're out there, can you confirm it for me, please? But Luke Wilson, the Blackburn the Blackburn Hawks D2 goalie, 20 shots, 12 shots, and 21 shots in the third period. I mean, 2 goals in each period, but 21 shots for a total of 53. That's a lot of goals. Yeah. That's a lot of shots on goal.
Some of those are multiple saves as well.
Yes, they were. There was. Yeah,
there was 3 or 4 on the bounce, and you're like, "Well, you've done really well tonight, mate. That'll do your confidence."
Yeah.
Now, I was talking to Phil Crosby after the game last night. I said, "How would that build that young man's confidence?" And he said, "Dramatically."
Yeah.
He said, because even though he's let 6 in, compared to what it normally lets in, it's a massive reduction, and he's had a really good game.
Yes.
And the defence are starting to screen him a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
they've learnt.
They've come a long way. They've really, really improved their style of play. They're covering the ice well. They were skating well. They kept their heads up and didn't drop. And The Hawks D2 team, I mean, definite hats off to every single one. They played really well, and they did limit a lot of the chances for the Wild and did their job.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
They're going to grow, and again, best of luck to them throughout the season. But,
they've become the Coventry of last season.
Well, they're growing. Yes. It's one of these teams that's going to grow and grow. So, it's the way things are. Well, I think we'll take a little break for a little bit of music. And how about a little bit of the Levellers?
Yeah.
What a beautiful day. That music usually sounds. It's going to be announcement time. Well, it's a bit of a belated announcement, this first one, because of course it was announced last week. We said last week we've got a player to announce, and of course
he came out.
He's back with us. He's number 93.
Sean Dibnall.
The best beard in British hockey, well, within the NAHL anyway. I think he's still got the best beard.
Best beard.
So yes, Sean has rejoined us from the Dragons D1. And on top of that, other movers and shakers in the in ice hockey. Telford Tigers D1 have signed Johan Armstrong from the Dragons. And Telford Tigers have also signed Adam Jones after a trial period with the Belfast Giants. Additionally, Lewis Morgan has departed from the Dragons D1. So we're not sure where he's gone to yet. And the Hull Jets have re-signed Kieran Beach from Hull Pirates. Now that's a big signing for the Jets. So yes, and moving into the Elite League, the Edinburgh Capitals have released Alexander Ismailov, and the Coventry Blaze have departed company with Garrett Ladd, who's returning back to the USA. Some other items, a few interesting other news items I've found while I've been looking around. Over the weekend, the Manchester Storm retired the number 15 shirt of Mike Morin.
Did they?
Yes. And I remember Mike actually coming over to play for the Hull Thunder a number of years ago. So, yes, I remember having a couple of chats with Mike and seeing him play in a Hull shirt.
So did he actually turn up for the game, or was he...
I think he still does stuff with the Manchester Storm, does Mike. So, yeah, I think he's still involved. If anyone can confirm, please, drop us a shout. Even quickest, just drop us a text, 07716 672 874. Start your messages with TTGW. Now, here's a good one I've come across. Fife Flyers. They're doing an interesting one. I thought this was quite a good one. A puck amnesty, they've called it.
A puck amnesty?
Yes. What they're doing is they're taking pucks, and your puck enters you into a raffle to win a signed shirt.
That's a good one.
And they're getting people to sign up and give stories about their pucks, because people can get quite possessive of pucks. They've won it, or they got it because it smacked them on the head, or they caught it at a particular game,
or it's someone's treble.
Yeah, someone's. I think that's quite a good one. That the club. Sometimes you've actually got some decent pucks in your at home somewhere. Well, I'll keep one. It's always nice to have a puck somewhere, and the club's.
I've got a couple of annotated as to where they came from and who scored. Got one at Will Barron's.
So there's that one. And one more interesting little newsy item I've got is Belfast Giants are doing a testimonial for Colin Shields on the 21st of November. Now, if I just slide sideways, I'm going to call up the Belfast Giants page, because the list of players they've got makes some very interesting reading, because if anyone out there has been following the Elite League in past years, some of these names are going to make you have a nice little chuckle on your face, because players at the current lineups, they've got for Collins All-Stars, you've got Colin himself, Big Adam Keefe, Robbie Sandrock, Stevie Thornton, Mark Morrison, Mike Hoffman, Stevie Lyle, Shane Johnson, Jason Bowen, Matt Nickerson, Craig Peacock, John Gleed, Rob Stewart, Curtis Huppy, Martin Correa, and Daryl Lloyd. And I've met Curtis a few times when he was playing at Hull. Curtis Huppy. We've had
That sounds quite a nice team, that.
That's going to be a good team. That actually one that sticks in my mind. Was it Stevie Thornton who had the scrap with Rick Strachan a number of years ago? But I know Stevie Thornton. He's a good player, Stevie, in his day. And then the Giants lineup. They've got Matt Toe, Jackson Whistle, Mark Garside, Stevie Murphy, Andrew Dixon, Cole Jarrett, Spiro Goulikos, I think it is. Jim Vandermeer, Kevin Rain, Ryan Martinelli, Sebastian Silvestre, Steve Savino, I think it's pronounced, Darcy Murphy, John Kurtz, Jonathan Furland, Blair Riley, Brandon Benedict, Brendan Connolly, and Dustin Johnner. Now, I've got to mention Brandon Benedict for something that's going on at the moment. Like several people, I am partaking with a number of colleagues in work in Movember. And
that's what the growth is.
That's why there's a ginger soup strainer on my top lip. Yeah, I'm kind of disguising it because I haven't had a shave for a couple of days. But no, the in work it's called the Chemical Mo Bros. And there's 4 of us in our section taking part, and there's a few others. There's quite a few others on site.
You won't shave it off now because it's too cold.
Oh no, it will come off because it's actually colder with the tash.
It's not.
It was. In the rink, I was actually getting a cold top lip last night. But a few years ago, I remember seeing Brandon Benedict on the ice for Belfast, and he's skating past, and as he skates past, he had this really big, thick, black tash. And it's his tash, and I just looked up as he's skating down the ice during warm-up. I went, oh my goodness, put a pair of glasses on him. It's Ned Flanders. And honestly, he looked the spit for Ned Flanders. Not Brandon, if you are out there, anyone knows Brandon, I'm not having a go at him. It was just this one moment, and I mentioned it to our announcer at the time, and he went, well, we were just chatting about a couple of things, and the announcer at Halton said about Brandon, and he went, well, I said, look at him when he comes past, just see, you will see Ned Flanders. And he skated past and he looked and went, oh my goodness, yeah, he does. And I think he got a penalty at one point during the game, and he had to bite his tongue and avoid calling Ned Flanders as he came off the ice. But to everyone out there who's taking part in Movember, it is for a very good cause, and there's a lot of hockey teams who take part in it, and I think Belfast are one of those teams, and a couple of others out there are also taking part. So, I hope it's all going well for those people fundraising. So yeah, had some interesting little newsy articles around the league this week, and some movers and shakers. It's quite a lot going on. I mean, it's a bit of a sad thing for the Belfast. Sorry, not for Belfast. Talking about Belfast there, for the Nottingham Panthers there, going out of the Champions Hockey League, but they were playing against one of the top teams in Europe, and to go out, what was it, 3-1 or 2-1 in the first leg, and 3-0 in the second leg. It was
not out of sight, is it?
Apparently, well, it was one of the best hockey that's been played around these parts for a long time. It was apparently a fantastic game, and it was a full sellout in the NIC. So, but commiserations and congratulations on the Nottingham Panthers for getting as far as they did. Well, we'll take another break for another little bit of music, and hopefully we'll have someone on the phone in a little bit. So, anyone fancy a bit of AC/DC?
Yeah.
How about a bit of Shoot to Thrill? Like he did, Pavel Valles put a Shoot to Thrill on everybody last night.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and coming to share a few thoughts on last night, we've got on the phone Mikey Gilbert. Hiya, Mikey. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Colin. You okay?
Yeah, we're doing well. So, good. Give us a couple of thoughts on last night. Now you've had a chance to breathe.
Yeah, it was a really tough game. I thought we fought hard, went all the way to the end, as you can tell by the goals. It just shows that this league at the top is going to be really tight. We've got some good teams. You just got to play as hard as you can all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, that equaliser was at such a tight part of the game. I mean,
last 20 minutes, 20 seconds of regulation.
How many minutes?
Pav got us back.
20
pulled it quite
seconds.
tight.
20 seconds of regulation.
Yeah.
So, was there any sort of, how can I put it, punishments in the nicest way for Pav after you all got off the ice for getting the 2 goals?
There was no punishments. We were all just like really pleased that he carried on and got us a couple of goals right at the end, and it proved with man of the match, and he also got the hat. So just proves that he had a really good game.
What happens with the hat?
It's just for maybe the hardest worker or another person who maybe if 2 people could have got man of the match, it would be go to them.
So that's a little something you've got your eyes on in the dressing room. That well, on top of playing, of course, with the Wild, you look after a lot of the junior developments, and give us a bit of an extra shout out for hockey excellence. Let everyone know what's going on with that.
Yeah, both the Hockey Excellence and the Wild Academy are doing really well at the moment. We've got quite a few people signed up to the 6-week course of Hockey Excellence, which is the first steps of junior ice hockey, coached by a few of us. And then after that, once you've progressed enough to the junior Wild Academy standard, we'll move you on to them, and we're looking good for numbers at the minute. We're always increasing, which is good, and then we just go from there. The Hockey Excellence is on Thursdays, 6:15 till 7:15, and it is £65 for a 6-week course, or we also do drop-in sessions. And then the academy training is on Tuesdays, 7 till 8:30. And it's a good laugh for all the juniors, all the kids to start playing ice hockey.
That's good to hear, because
interesting sport to play.
Yeah, well, we saw the juniors on the ice the other week with their nice shirts as well.
Yeah, they've got some jerseys now.
So yeah, and they had a slightly different design, which is nice to see.
Yeah, we want it quite close to the Wild design, so just to show that they're linked.
The Panther stands out well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we better let you get on. I take it you've got some training and stuff to look after now.
Yeah, I've got some coaching of the senior basics advanced session, the Old Road Elks. So if you get good enough on the normal basics, we're going to the advanced basics session. That's tonight.
So there you go. We hope the All Road Elks go from strength to strength, and we better let you get back on with things, Mikey. So thanks for joining us.
Cheers, Colin.
Okay, take care.
No
Bye.
problem. See you later, Doug. Bye-bye.
Time to cover a bit of the What's On guide, the usual routines around on our website, of course, the Puckers Pals, highlights, podcasts, all your ticket information, fixtures, keep your eyes out for that. And of course we have our Player of the Month awards going out, which it was Tom Jackson for the month of September. You can contact all that through the Wild Ones social media, and we have the Own and Loan shirts, 3 left, just the 3. Danny Bracegirdle's away and warm-up, Nick Manning's warm-up, £75 for the away shirt, £60 for the warm-up shirt. Make an ideal Christmas present for somebody. Well, Christmas present with the IOU for getting to the late end of the season, but you be the proud owner of those shirts, and they'll be playing in those shirts throughout the rest of the season. So what else have we got coming up, Doug?
Right, so we've got a few games coming up. We've got the Wild are playing the Deeside Dragons at home on Sunday the 19th. The following week, Saturday the 25th, we are away to the Sheffield Senators, face off at 15:30. And we haven't got a coach time yet, have we? Not to my knowledge, but keep an eye out for that on the game next week. And then on Sunday the 26th of November, the Widnes Wild are home again to the Hull Jets. And the following Sunday the 3rd, the Widnes Wild women take on the MK Falcons at home. All of the Widnes Wild home games on a Sunday, and they face off at 5:30. We've got a few other things we'd like to mention. The 50-50 is well worth a flotter, because the average prize is about £90 on each game, so it's not to be sniffed at.
It's not to be sniffed at, especially
one £2 flotter there.
Yeah.
I think the other things we've got Air the Bear. which is against the Bradford Bulldogs game on the 10th of December. So go and buy your teddies so you can throw them onto the ice and make a child's face happy for Christmas. There's a cabaret night which has been organised by the Widnes, the Wild Ones, on the 15th of December. Tickets for that are £10. If you're a player, they're £5. You get discounts, you get them for £5. There's also on the same day, there's a jumper party on at the ice rink. So if you look at that on the, I think, is it now Planet Ice rather than Silver Blades?
You can go to either Planet Ice or you can do silver-blades.co.uk.
And the Tuesday following that, there's Around the World in 80 Days, which is, of course, is the Jules Verne thing. There are two performances. One, I think, 11...
Yeah, 11 and 7.
And 7. And prices for those, if you go onto the website and have a look on those, because they do differ for where you're sitting. Vary.
It says on the website it sort of starts from £10 for adults and £5 for children, but check out all the details with the rink.
And one final thing, there's a happy birthday.
Oh,
it's the Widnes Ice Rink's birthday.
It will, yes, coming
on
up
the 22nd of December.
Yes,
they're having a 5th birthday party.
They are, with
a skate session and prizes. So look on the website for those. That's the roundup for this week.
So keep your eyes tuned in, open and ready for everything that happens. One time to go Wild Radio. It is time to sit back and relax and enjoy Mike Marr's Monday Mantra.
And the mantra for today: Saturday's game was a scrappy affair against Blackburn. 3 disallowed goals and poor ice conditions didn't help the flow of the game at all. However, Sunday, we're going to Sundays, was always going to be a battle. Going down 1-0 in the third was a test of the boys' character, and we delivered with a late equaliser in the final seconds of regulation and the game winner in the final seconds of overtime. This shows the character the team has this season, and on behalf of the team, Mike would like to shout out to all the Wild Ones and all the supporters as they brought the noise and helped the team battle and win. So that's Mike Marr's Monday Mantra.
Join us again next week for more wise words on Mike Marr's Monday Mantra. So, we've had the mantra. Now, it's time for the rules. It's quiz time.
Oh, yes.
So, following on from last week, here we go. Last week's quiz rules. Wow, we'll go through question 1. From You Make the Call, courtesy of the EIHA, www.eiha.co.uk. Check it out every week. They have some wonderful little quizzes for those who want to learn a bit more about the game. So, first one. Now, this one was interesting about the helmet. The EIHA in-house rule: does the backup goaltender need to wear a helmet on the bench at every level? And it says in senior hockey, this can be a normal goaltender mask or player's helmet. And in junior hockey, goaltenders must wear a regular goaltender mask or a player's helmet with a full cage.
Yep.
But so it is an in-house rule. It differs from the IIHF rules slightly. Because I had a funny feeling that was a slight change. Here we go. All right. And the question about if they don't comply with the ruling, what's the procedure? And it is a essay. For the first violation, there's a warning, and if the violation continues, it is a misconduct penalty. So there you go. And the final one: if the shot hits the goaltender's mask, what is the referee's procedure? And it's Rule 200. And the referee is to stop play if a shot hits the goaltender's mask, but not the net guard hanging from the helmet. If the puck enters the net directly from hitting the face mask, the goal shall stand. However, if it hits the face mask and then the shot in by another player, it is washed out. And
that would be reasonable, wouldn't it?
Yes. So that's last week's quiz. Here's this week's questions. Right, here we go. Question 1.
Oh, well. You'll be. A player's penalty has expired and he's leaving the penalty box. However, before he gets out of the box, he plays the puck with his stick on the ice, but with his skates still in the penalty box. Is there a call on this play?
I'd say no, because the penalty has expired, so he's allowed to return to the ice, and he's coming out of the bin. So it's not too many men, because if the puck's coming towards the gate and he sticks his stick on it as he's coming out, so I don't think there's a call, because technically he's still an active player.
Yes, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to come out of the box.
Yeah.
Now, if there was five on the ice, he couldn't come out. So
exactly.
He's an active player.
Yeah.
Is it similar to what you'd have if you have a player in your bin, in your dugout, who's coming out
on the bench? No, that one can get done for too many men on the ice.
No, it wouldn't, because if the guy if his opposition's come off and there's only 4 on and he's coming on,
that's different. Yeah. I think that could be the same. It's all to do with the number of players.
So we
on the
think
ice.
There's no call.
I don't think there's a call.
Yeah.
So question 2.
An attacking player deliberately directs the puck into the goal by intentionally turning their foot to change the direction of the puck. Is there a call to be made? And if so, what is the determining factor?
Now, my rough understanding on this one is it has, for the goal to be disallowed, it has to be a kicking motion. So if the skate is rotated it deflects in,
yes, he's not kicked it.
He's not kicked it. Now, that's my interpretation. It has to be a kicking motion. So send us your thoughts as well, and you can drop them in by email and by text. So what do you think to that one, Doug?
I think with that one, it will probably be allowed.
So it all depends on how the foot's positioned and what it does.
If it's a bit like coming off the board, isn't it?
Okay, let's have question 3 then.
Team A have a penalty signalled against them delayed, and Team B ice the puck. Where is the resulting face-off?
My guess would be the face-off would be giving to the advantage of Team B. Although they've iced the puck would come back down to Team A's defending zone because they've got a penalty.
The penalty overrides the icing, doesn't it?
That's my understanding, but that's my thoughts on it. Answers, please send them in, radio@widnesmod.co.uk. You can text us as well whilst we're on air. And let us know your thoughts. So that's this week's You Make the Call, courtesy of the EIHA. And we look forward to reading their answers and seeing what it comes in next week.
There is actually one thing that was missed out of the previous questions. All women in their games must wear a helmet with a cage.
Yes. Yeah.
So
juniors and the women have to all wear full face coverage.
Yes.
Andy sent in an interesting one. He says he thinks Pav's imprint is still on the ice from when everyone piled in on him.
Probably.
I think it's probably right, yeah. Instead of us having a mountain in the ice, it's a divot. A number 26 size divot in the ice.
No, it's probably number 26 is actually on the ice.
Oh, bless Pav. But yeah, for those of you who are quizzing, there was a number of quizzes going around on Saturday at the game up in Blackburn about why goals weren't allowed and why goals were allowed. And yeah, it's a very tricky call. The highlights show 3 particular incidents, and the third one in particular I'll talk about, because there was a big cry about why was that one waved out, and it was disallowed for high sticks. And you might wonder, well, what would what designates a high sticking to stop a goal? And it is when the strike of the stick hits the puck above the height of the crossbar. If my understanding of that is correct. So that is one of those things. So when I watched it back on the replay, you could quite clearly see, unfortunately for the Wild, that the stick made contact with the puck higher than the height of the crossbar.
Yes.
So yes, that one was quite rightly washed out. As for the other 2, well,
we'll leave that open to your discretion, and people can make their own minds up, because we couldn't possibly comment.
Well, there were things said, and the only thing that I can say about the first goal, which was Mikey Gilbert's, which was disallowed, it was in and out the net that quick that it went in, it came out, it did lift the top of the net, but the goal judge didn't see it go in. No. The ref didn't see it. It was such a quick shot over the glove. It was deemed at the time to have bounced off something.
So is this a case again for they should have video at all matches?
Well,
and people should have the ability to question not every decision, but a certain number of decisions they think didn't go their way.
I think at the top levels, I think the Elite League have started to bring it in, or are trying to bring it in, about having video replays available for review during the game. At EIHA, I think it's a much trickier thing to bring in because of the amount of investment needed. But however, I do, from a personal fan perspective, from having watched a lot of hockey over the best part of 18, 19 years in the British hockey, and having been filming it now for something in the region of 13 years, I feel that for the benefit and protection of players, that a basic level of filming should be done. I mean, just even a basic level. I mean, I think it's fantastic the way the internet is nowadays, that allow clubs to be able to promote within not just social media but multimedia, without having to go through the whole rigmarole of presenting full games. We can present our own media packages and help promote our sport. But in terms of the greater ramifications, I do think that we should be having all games filmed wherever possible, even if it's just for general being able to watch it back.
Even if you had locked off cameras.
Yeah.
Not necessarily as skilled for as yours, where you follow the play. But if you had a locked off camera, it would pick up a lot of the things that go on.
It could do, yeah. It's one of those things where it's a big... Some things just need a small amount of investment, and other things I feel that's a more long-term thing. But the amount of improvements that teams have found by using video. I mean, there was a number of years ago on the Elite Ice Hockey League show that was on Sky Sports. They did an interview with Paul Thompson, the then coach of the Coventry Blaze, now coach of the Sheffield Steelers, and he was like, the way he uses the video, he had the extra bits of software that he could then put the video into to help do his analysis. And we know coaches and players. I mean, there was actually one of the goaltenders from Telford Tigers D2 actually asked for a copy of one of the games because it's useful for him. And the players really do, grow from it. It's one of those ways the game is growing a lot more and improving.
Yes.
So that's my little sermon on videography for this month, I think. But yeah, we've got an interesting couple of games coming up over the next couple of weeks. Dragons D2 is going to be an interesting one on Sunday.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing them for the first time.
And Senators the third one. So we seem to play some teams a lot at the start, and then others hardly ever.
Yeah, in our first...
It's not really spread out, is it?
No, it's strange. I mean, we get to see the whole Jets for the first time on the 26th of November as well, so...
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And the Senators will be an interesting one because we'll be looking to repay.
Yeah.
Repay the debt in full.
Yeah, it's one each, isn't it? In the
Yes, it's 1-1 at the moment.
So
and both teams have won away, which is
that's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, we've both got the away game. Now it's a case of who's going to get the first home win.
Yes.
So yes, get yourselves down to the Widnes ice rink Sunday the 19th for sort of between 5 and 15 in good time, so you're ready for the Widnes Wild taking on the Dragons. And be loud and proud. It makes a difference, as we found on Sunday.
It was. I mean, the crowd on Sunday was probably a little less than we'd had previously, but we certainly made a noise. And Ollie, when I was talking to the players that came off the ice after the thing, Ollie says positives out of this game, really positive. And I don't think we can take anything out of the game other than positive.
No.
We went out and we rocked up into 5th gear, and we stayed in 5th gear for 60 minutes.
Oh, both teams were playing
it
full
was
tilt all game.
Intense. Really good advert, as we said, for the sport.
Yes.
The boys did dig deep, because when you played at that level of intensity and you do go one down, it's awful.
Hard.
But we came back.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up for another week. A little bit of music to play out, and I've been debating between two songs, but we're going to play The Cars and Just What I Needed, because I think that's what we all needed last night.
Oh yeah.
So for another week, that's it from Time to Go Wild Radio. We can join us all again next week, and in the meantime, of course, we've got our game on Sunday. We'll be back next Monday from 7. I won't be back tomorrow night at 10. I'll be back on Thursday night from 9 for 2 hours of musical mayhem with Cole's Box of Delights. So I hope you can join me then here on Halton Community Radio. But for another week from Time to Go Wild Radio,
good night.
And good night from me.